Hey guys, how you doing? Dev here, and welcome to another one of my weekly dev posts. Now, unfortunately, I haven't done one of these videos in about 2 weeks, so I will be covering 2 weeks worth of dev posts, which means, of course, I'm going to be covering around 23 topics throughout this video. Instead, I'm going to split this entire video up into 4 parts, because obviously I don't feel anybody wants to sit around listening to my sobby ass British voice for about 40 minutes about dev posts. So, first of all, we have this post by Hiroshi Minagawa. He is one of the people who is responsible for the UI of this game, and he talks a little bit about the PS3 and the PS4 UI. Now, this entire thread is basically about focus target on the PS3 version. How on the PS3 version you can't shift F, for example, and have like a little focus target bar on your corner of the screen. And this is due to memory limitations on the PS3. And of course, if there are too many things on the screen on the PS3, nothing will show, and the PS3 will break down and start crashing. They are working on a possible solution to get a focus target-esque system working on the PS3. He said at the bottom of this post, I'll be sure to let you know whether or not we can confirm this for patch 2.1 implementation. So yeah, we may not be seeing this in patch 2.1, maybe patch 2.3, maybe patch 2.4. But unfortunately, PS3 people, you won't be seeing this anytime soon. He then goes and talks a little bit about the PS4 version, as well as add-ons for these two consoles. So the first thing he says is that the UI for the PS4 version will be 98% the same. He then goes on to say that we are using the Windows version as a base for the PS4 version, so the features including focus target, cross hotbar, vertical/horizontal hotbar display, multiple chat log window display will be the same for both Windows and PS4 versions. The default setting for the control mode of the PS4 version will be a gamepad mode, but we are planning to support keyboard and mouse mode for it also. Naturally, from a UI display resolution perspective, the PS4 has a video card that is capable of 4K display, so you cannot really compare a PS4 with the PC that has a top-end video card. Also, the PS4 version will have features that the Windows version does not, such as play screen sharing and linking with the PS Vita. I kind of disagree with this because we have something called Nvidia Shield, so we can just stream Final Fantasy XIV on our Nvidia Shield. But I do understand what he's talking about. He then goes on and talks about add-ons and other features, and unfortunately he says that we will not be able to make third-party add-ons for the PS3 and the PS4 version because those two consoles were made by Sony Computer Entertainment. Of course, they have their own set of software development agreements, which means if someone like myself would want to make an add-on for the PS3 or the PS4 versions, I will have to make sure that my add-on complies with their Sony Computer Entertainment development agreements and all their other, back-end malarkey. And of course, none of us, or an individual like myself, won't have a fucking clue about what they are because we're not in-house people. We don't work with the PS4 or the PS3. So, the only time an add-on will come out for the PS3 or the PS4 version is if Sony makes it themselves. And that is something that I highly doubt. This post now is about the random content matching feature. If you remember from one of my previous videos, I talked about how they're gonna implement a feature where you're randomly put in a dungeon and you get rewarded for it. And I have a bit more information regarding this. The post is, as was mentioned during the live letter from the producer part 9, we'll be introducing a feature for the duty finder in patch 2.1 that will place you in a random dungeon in order to get people participating in a wider variety of dungeons. Specifically, we will be breaking down the dungeon content into different categories such as leveling dungeons, level 50 plus dungeons, and primal battles, and players will be matched for random content. You will be able to challenge each category once every real world day, and as a reward you will receive each kind of elegant tombstone. Participants will be matched with priority on content that is lacking members. Also, in order to strike a proper balance between this plan and the experience points gained in participating in Fates, we will be increasing the amount of experience points gained during dungeons in patch 2.1. Now, this line over here, amount of experience points gained in patch 2.1 for dungeons, is a massive update. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, how? Other than the fact that it will allow people or newcomers to get more experience through doing dungeons like Iron Veil, Stone Vigil, and Desmel Darkhold, for example. It also means that a player like myself, who is now trying to make money through the spirit bonding technique, will make a lot more money. And I mean a lot. Now, in case you don't know already, how fast an item gets spirit bound is dependent on the XP that you gain when you kill a mob. So in other words, if they're increasing the experience points gained in dungeons in patch 2.1, this may mean that spirit bonding will be so much more easier and so much more profitable at lower levels. It may even mean that when we're doing AKs or even the future dungeons such as Farah Sirius, spirit bonding will be an amazing way to make money. This also means that level 3 crafting materia will also plummet more in price than they already have. In case you don't know, especially on my server, Moogle, the prices for a lot of materia, especially the crafting ones, they were at about 30k gil about 2 weeks ago. They've now gone down to about 15k gil each. So yeah, if that's the case, it means, people who will really want the end game best crafting stuff will be able to afford it much better. Now, I also really like this whole random matching feature, as it will mean that of older dungeons such as Satasha, such as Halatali, will now finally have a tiny bit of value placed on them. Because of course, if you are a new player and you're trying to queue for Satasha, for example, it's going to take you a year to get a queue and actually do Satasha, because no one does a dungeon anymore. Now, this post is people saying that they would love to have a form of fate journal, or a way to track fates that we have completed or fates that we still need to complete. Unfortunately, they have said that they will not be able to add a system like this because this would increase the file size per character. And of course, there's only a limited amount of memory on the Square Enix servers to host and hold all of the characters that are currently in the game. And I'd give a good estimation of there being around 2 million characters in total. So that of course would take up a large amount of memory to store everything. And of course the population for this game is also growing, so they need to make sure that they have enough memory to hold all the new players that will be coming in. They then went on to say, in other words, it comes to a choice between whether we increase the number of fates or if we increase fates related information, and we would like to go in the direction of increasing the number of fates. So in other words, they're just going to increase the number of fates and they will not give us a fate journal system. This post is regarding the free company crest that isn't displayed on the Lodestone, and the post is, as some of you have most likely noticed, your free company crest is not displayed on the Lodestone, and instead only the grand company you're affiliated with is shown. We'll be making it so your customized crests are displayed on the Lodestone around the time of patch 2.1, so please hang tight for a bit longer. I too have noticed this, that when I go on the Lodestone and I check out my free company, I can't see my free company logo. Do you know, I don't even know what my free company logo looks like. Because I don't wear the badge on any of my gear sets or anything like that. I'm a terrible guild member. But anyway, I think this is a really good feature. It would make, people's FCs stand out and look more unique than they already are on Lodestone. And I think this is a good idea that they're doing. And that pretty much covers part 1 of this video. So guys, thank you for watching, and make sure to watch part 2